Hello everyone, this is Dee from Consciously Focused Tarot. How are you? This is a reading for everyone based on the new planetary retrogrades that we have coming up. I know that we're all relieved. That the Mercury retrograde is over. However, we have Saturn going retrograde. We have Saturn going retrograde. I think it was today. We have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn. Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio, okay? So, yes, we got through the Mercury retrograde. Yay, great. So let's see what's going on with the Saturn retrograde, especially for the Capricorns. Now, these retrogrades affect everybody, obviously, but you need to know which house the retrograde is going to fall in to know what area of your natal chart and what area of your life the retrogrades are going to affect you the most. Okay, so let's start with Saturn. I'm going to just try and do a summary here. I don't want to get too involved into it, but it does help you to kind of understand your readings and the influences that are coming up, and you can prepare yourself in advance, okay? But those of us that are more aware, we've developed more of a self-awareness and higher consciousness. We probably already felt these energies coming in before they came in and have already done what we needed to do, okay? You don't need a tarot reader or an astrologer to tell you that when you're in alignment with all the energies, okay, the universal energies, and with your own soul's direction. You just intuitively know. Sometimes we don't know why we decided to do something at this time, but we're just following our inner guidance, okay? So, Saturn energy. Now, the quality of Saturn that governs Capricorn is it's steady, it's reliable, it's consistent, it's grounded, it's hardworking, and Saturn rewards hard work, okay? It stands for integrity, responsibilities, all the responsibilities that we've taken on, and obligations and reliability, all that good stuff, okay? And those things are okay. They're very good. They're very admirable qualities. But everything has its season. And anything to an extreme, no matter how admirable the quality, kind of like takes away from the higher energy. So now that Saturn is turning retrograde until September, I may add, this will have us all reevaluating our foundation, because Saturnian energy is very foundational. It's about your foundation. It's about where you feel secure in life, what grounds you, your stability and your commitments and your obligations, okay, your values, your ideals. So when Saturn is going retrograde now, I don't know if it's 6 months, but it's until September, this is going to call us to reevaluate what means security for us, okay? And just to check all of our foundations, whether it be in our finances, in our family, work, career, investments, your home, anything that grounds you, gives you a feeling of stability and security. Okay, so now with Saturn retrograde, we're being called to reevaluate those things. And Saturnian energy is also connected to establishments, organizations, governments, institutions of any kind, universities, governments, local governments. And so we're being called to look at what we're relying on that will keep us feeling stable and secure, okay? And it's a time to reevaluate, because some of those principles, values, ideals, institutions, government, where we may have felt really secure in the past, may not be the case at the moment. It's changing, okay? And also it speaks to our reliance on those structures, okay? So now we are being called to reevaluate where we're obligated and committed, and whether or not those areas of our life where we've obligated and committed ourselves, whether it still serves us, whether it really is still a secure foundation as we thought it was today, okay? It could be your job, your career, the government, institutions. Hold on, let me turn this down a bit. It would be nice if my remote control worked from this distance. Okay. So now we're also being called to maybe not rely so much on those external things, but to have more self-reliance, and not to be so codependent on these things and structures that we've always had in our life, that we were always able to turn to as a staple, as solid. Okay, because those things are changing right now, and they're changing in everyone's life, depending on where it shows up in your natal chart. With some people, it may be the way you have always invested your money. With other people, it may be in the family structure, it may be in the spiritual structure, it may be in your career, okay? And also with Saturn going retrograde, it's also calling for you to not overextend yourself. Have yourself being pulled in too many different directions. Okay, now you need to reevaluate, re-examine, and prioritize, and say, well, I've been committed to this thing here for 10 years. Is it still serving me? Because I'm being pulled in so many different directions, something has to give here, okay? And so you might be moving the pieces of the puzzles around a little bit in your life where it makes more sense to you now, today, okay? And what else? And then in addition to that, now we have Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto governs Scorpio. Scorpio is very deep, very deep, very deep with regard to the psyche. So some of us now may be delving very deep within ourselves. And then also with Pluto and Scorpio, it's asking you to look at yourself, really go inside deep. And you may find that some things from the past not from the past, wounds that haven't healed, or situations within yourself that you need to come to terms with or heal, or, that needs to be resolved, may start to surface as you start to get introspective and look at what you want to do now. Where are you today? What things within myself are still out of alignment that need to be healed, and they can only be healed if they come to the surface, okay? So you have that going on, and then we had Mars in Aries. That's also about looking in the mirror, looking at yourself, and making sure you're on your own path of being true to yourself and expressing yourself in the world of how you really are, how you really feel, how you want to be seen, okay, and not jumping or dancing to anyone else's tune, you know, where we may always be trying to appease others or follow the status quo or just do whatever we need to do to keep the peace, you know, so that we're not judged, okay? And conformity and that type of thing. So there are a lot of internal transformations, internal changes going on within ourselves now, and raising us up to a higher consciousness as a collective, okay? And we also, I also spoke about Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio, and Scorpio is also about power and control. Aries is also about power and control, but with Aries it's more external, and with Scorpio it's more internal, you know, the ego and this type of thing, okay? So with all of these planets going retrograde, on the one hand it's speaking to more self-reliance and having power and control over yourself, over your own life, over what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life, and setting boundaries where necessary, okay? So also with the Saturnian energy that's retrograde right now, it's also calling for you not to overextend yourself or overcommit. If you have too much on your plate, something has to give. You may have to decide where you're going to release yourself from an obligation because it's just too much. It's just not, it's outdated, outworn, it's not serving you anymore. And it may not even be your load that you're carrying. You may be carrying someone else's load, okay, or someone else's baggage or responsibilities. Okay, so really, this is really a time about me. When I mean me, I mean you, me, us as individuals, okay? And just being honest with ourselves and being able to express ourselves authentically in the world without the fear of being judged or not accepted, okay? So, what else? So yes, don't overextend yourself. Check where you're committed or you're overcommitted and pull back there, okay? Do some juggling around there. Be realistic about your limitations, you know, and Capricorns are famous for that too, because Capricorns are so resilient, and Saturn rules Capricorn, so that's why I'm bringing it up. They're so resilient, and if Capricorns, and I'm a Capricorn, okay, if we commit to something, you know, we'll hang on in there just because we committed or we obligated ourselves, you know, and we'll hang on in there until we're released from that obligation or commitment, or the contract ends, or the task or the project ends, and it's been fulfilled, and you know, we've delivered. However, Saturn going retrograde is really saying know your limitations, stop overextending yourself, and think before you say yes and commit to another project or commit to another situation, and probably wait, and if you can, wait until September when Saturn moves direct. We have Mars in Capricorn right now, so that's good. So that's giving us some energy, okay? I think Mars is in Capricorn, or it's going into Capricorn, so that's good because it will give us that extra boost and that extra vitality, that extra energy. However, at some point, Mars is going to go retrograde too. So when Mars goes retrograde, then, you know, everyone's feeling tired. And oh, and there was something else. Also, This also can be like a testing period, especially with Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. Then there Uranus was in the fray. Okay, so this could be a testing period. So be very careful about what you say, what you do now, because especially for the next 6 months, because it could come back to haunt you. Okay. If someone tries to pick a fight with you or provoke you or anything like that, try and what's the word? You know, try and temper that energy, tone it down. Don't feed into it. Okay, if you have to walk away, walk away. Because Saturn is also the planet of karma. So anything we do right now will come back to us. Okay, and it may just look like it's something small, that it may not have a big repercussion or consequences. But when Saturn is retrograde, with all these other planets retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Scorpio retrograde, it could have a bigger repercussion and ripple effect than we had thought. So think before you act, think before you speak. If anyone tries to pick an argument with you or provoke you, you know, just don't feed into it, you know, because the egos, don't get into this whole clash of egos and that type of thing. It's not worth it. Okay. Okay, so I get on with the reading now. And after that all being said, these cards here look very positive. I have to say, they look very positive. In the middle of the reading, and this is for everybody, okay, well, anybody who it resonates with, put it that way. Okay, but I wouldn't mind having these cards. They're very positive. Or I wouldn't mind that if these cards resonate with me, because they look very good. We start out with the Empress in the middle of the reading. Okay, so this is Venus and Taurus. And by the way, off the bat, there is a lot of Taurian energy in this readings for you Taurians. There's a lot of Scorpio energy in this reading for you Scorpios. There's a lot of water energy for you Pisces, Cancers and Scorpios. There's a splash of air here and there, not very positive, but it's oval. And we've got some earth, some Capricorn there, a splash of fire. There's not a lot of fire in here at all. It's mostly Earth, Taurians, Tauruses, Scorpio, maybe a Libran, Pisces, and Cancer. Okay, so the Empress, this is a beautiful card, really beautiful. There could be, some of you may hear of a pregnancy. Okay, this is also someone like a mother archetype. Okay, this can also represent the divine feminine. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. You know, that feminine energy. She's very resourceful. She's very, very resourceful, and she represents beauty and grace, because Libra also, the air in Libra also governs this card. Okay, so she can represent be the epitome of love, beauty, grace, children. She gives life, creates life. Beautiful, beautiful woman. So with some of you that had questions, I would say, about a certain situation, it's a yes. These are yes cards, okay? Underneath her, and if you were maybe wanting to find out or know whether you're pregnant, some of you who are trying to get pregnant, you may be pregnant. You might have good news, okay? Because this is a wish card, wishes fulfilled, okay? And here, in the recent past, we have death, which is Scorpio, Pluto in Scorpio, okay? And Death is a transformation, inner transformation, the changing of values, ideals, beliefs, maybe changing the way you see things. It's the end of one cycle. It's the end of a negative cycle that opens the way for positive cycle to come in. Okay? Yeah, just Scorpio. Yeah, so this is the end of it could also be that, looking at all these cards, it could have been that in the past, in the recent past, a relationship ended, okay? But there's a new one coming in. A new long-term committed relationship, very loving relationship is coming in for those of you that ended a relationship, okay? Yeah, this card gives way to, there may have been a lot of pain in the past. Emotions and things may have surfaced to be healed. But this is also a very cathartic card, because once you do the work and we release, because we've just came out of a phase of releasing. The eclipses were releasing, okay? And healing, you know, Chiron, people were healing. And now it's time to move forward. Okay, so something new is coming in. It looks as though there are new relationships coming in. There are babies coming in. Okay. Some people may even be giving birth to a new, following a new spiritual path, and or being on a new spiritual journey. Okay, because we have the Hierophant here twice. So, and like I said, with Saturn, Saturn also speaks to your values and ideals. And this can be a spiritual, this can be any type of teacher, okay? It can be formal education. It can also be spiritual education. This can also be an institution, and we were talking about, with Saturnian energies, governs institutions, government, structure, okay? So some of you may be thinking about pursuing a spiritual path, or taking up spiritual education, or some type of formal education, okay? And here in the near future, we have the Two of Cups. So here we have a partnership. It could be a spiritual partnership. It could be a romantic partnership. It could be a really, really good friend, okay? There are emotions here. And here, we've got the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. So I would definitely say this is a soulmate relationship. Okay, and it's going to be divinely and spiritually guided. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment, the King of Cups in reverse, the Page of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Destiny and Karma in reverse, and the Ace of Cups. So from here, what I would say here is, for some of you, a relationship that you thought was over and dead, and I think I may have said this in my last reading. I don't know, did any of you guys get an opportunity to watch my New Moon in Aries? Yeah, New Moon in Aries video. Yeah, go back and have a look at that. Because in that video as well, I also said that there is going to be, for many of you, there's going to be resurrection of relationships that you thought was dead. Or you may be returning, and we have the Six of Cups here in reverse. So some of you may be returning to a relationship where you and the person had broken up. Okay, a decision is being made a call is being made for rebirth, resurrection with, I don't know, you may have been in a relationship with someone that was kind of really distant and cold towards you. They were not emotionally available. They may have been a bit manipulative. They may have been holding back on the truth, or, you know, may have been telling untruths. Let's just call it that, untruths. Okay. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, and so this was probably what delayed your relationship from moving forward, because this needed to be cleared up. Okay. But then now we have the Ace of Cups. So you may be being called to decide. It's always your choice. It's always your choice to decide whether or not you want to give this relationship another chance and open up your heart again to that person. Okay? So with the Judgment and the Death, it looks as though there's been healing in a relationship, or healing within yourself. And now you'd have another opportunity to start over. Okay? So if the relationship was healed and you got rid of all of that toxic energy where you all just were not getting along, okay, there might be an opportunity for you guys to revive that relationship. Okay, but obviously you have to be in integrity with each other. Okay, and yeah, here the Hierophant is a card of commitment, also tradition and traditional relationships, commitment and marriage. Okay, so I should have saved this till last, shouldn't I? Some of you I only have so many hands here, fingers. Some of you are going to get an offer in marriage. Some of you are going to be proposed to. Some of you are pregnant. Okay. And with the Empress card, your partner feels that you are their ideal partner for them. Okay. They see you as beautiful, graceful. Okay. You're every woman. All right. So that is really good. Even though with Saturn retrograde, they say it's not a good time to commit. Some of you may have already committed. Okay. And also they're saying that if you do decide to commit, make sure you don't leave any stone unturned. Okay. Really look at everything from all sides, and don't jump, walk. Okay. And like I said again, if this could be someone from your past, someone you already know, someone you already dated, or you were already in a relationship with. Okay. However, this situation is, these are my confirmation cards, this situation is really giving you sleepless nights because you're still ruminating about what had happened in the relationship before you broke up or before you reconciled. Okay. So some of you are having sleepless nights and you're ruminating about those things. Okay. And here again, yes, some of you are very in love. Okay. And this person is probably very spiritual. Either you are spiritual, they are very spiritual and psychic and intuitive. Okay. You guys may even reach out to somebody for help or for advice. Maybe psychic advice or psychological counseling. Not psychological counseling, but relationship counseling. That type of thing. Okay. And this person is very spiritual. You guys may be very spiritual, or both of you. Why? Because we have the Hierophant here again. 5 and 5, 10, end of a cycle. Okay? And in the traditional Rider-Waite, is it the... or the Golden Dawn, one of that. This is the Pope. Okay, so this can be a spiritual teacher. You could be embarking on a new spiritual path. You could be embarking on formal education or spiritual religious teachings. Okay, and next to that we have the Queen of Wands. This is also a very spiritual person, very inspirational, motivational, very intuitive as well. You see this black cat down here? That's her intuition. Okay, so this really is a power couple here. Usually the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands depicts a power couple, but this is a power couple too. Okay, you both may be together, embarking on a spiritual path together, or you may be teaching. You may be teaching religion or spirituality, and also trying to find. Some of you may be trying to find a balance between traditional religion and being spiritual but not religious. That's my label. Anyway, I'm spiritual but not religious. Okay, this can be the traditional dogma, and this is someone that's more open-minded when it comes to spirituality. And I think you're trying to find a balance between the two. And this could be what's causing the sleepless nights. Perhaps you and your partner have different spiritual views. One may be all into the church and a particular doctrine, okay? And the other person, the Queen of Wands, is very spiritual, but not like that. Okay, they're more expansive in how they apply their spirituality, whereas dogma, as you know, can be very restrictive. Okay, and this could also be what's keeping you guys up at night, because you both may have to compromise or choose a spiritual path that works for you both here. Okay, and here at the bottom of the deck of the After Tarot, again, I see some of you going back to a relationship where you were not happy. You may have been waiting for things to turn around. Okay? Here, waiting and wondering, should I put any more effort into it? Okay? Is this person going to stop, you know, sulking? Is this person going to become more reciprocal? Or this could have been you. You know, you may have had a time where you just did not want to reciprocate because you were waiting, you were watching. Okay? But it looks as though you love this person, they love you, and you're going to go back to that situation. Okay? Or you're thinking of going back, but you may wait and observe and watch for a while. Okay? I can't think of every single scenario. You guys know who you are, okay? And there is just one, I mean, these cards are so positive, they're beautiful, right? But there is one little snuffer here, you see? And here you have someone coming in as well, with their cup of love, want to go out, take you out on a date, you know, to the theater, to the movies, or have a relationship with you. This is a younger energy. Not as young as a page is, but this might be someone between 25 and 40, well, 25 and 35, something like that, okay? And when I say younger, I mean compared to the kings and the queens. But one thing I didn't like here is this Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So someone is worrying about their security. That's that Saturnian retrograde energy. Someone is wondering, how secure is the relationship? How committed is the relationship? How committed do I want to be? Okay. This person is worrying about financial security, stability, the home, something to do with the home. But it's whatever you value, whatever gives you a sense of security and stability and abundance. You're worrying about this, that whatever foundation it is, it might not be strong enough, it might be weak. And here, someone is confused. They may have a lot of options. They may have a lot of options, okay? You see, in these cups, there's a different... there's a different symbol in every cup. But the thing is, only... You know, what they say, everything that glitters is not gold. So be careful with your choice. Make sure you make the right choice, because you're confused here. You're worried about your financial stability, security. This could also have to do with real estate. It could have to do with a home, career, investments. Okay, and with the Empress here, it could even have something to do with your health. Okay, and here you have the Moon in reverse. So if you pray and meditate about it, the right choice and the right answer will be revealed to you, okay? Because you're not sure right now. Someone is not sure here, you know? And this person does not really want to make a decision right now. They're going to wait because they're not sure. They're waiting for the right answer. They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to risk this, that they're shaking up their foundation or whatever they value, okay, which goes back to that Saturnian energy as well. So the message I'm getting from the cards here is that there will be reconciliations in relationships, okay? Some relationships have healed and they're ready to take the relationship to another level. Some of you may get proposals. Some of you may be thinking about getting married. You're happy, you've got your wishes fulfilled. Okay, this is your perfect ideal partner. You feel it's your perfect ideal partner, okay? Or they feel you're their perfect ideal partner. It's a lot of love here. A lot of love. A lot of emotions.